Good morning. Well, here's an interesting spot for you. I'm at a part of the Avebury World Heritage Site known as the Sanctuary, and you can see it behind me there. I'll explain what it is in a minute. There'll be a bit of traffic noise in the background today because I'm right beside the A4 at the top of Overton Hill, and this site marks also the beginning of the Ridgeway. Can you see those white cars in the car park behind me? That is the spot where the Ridgeway begins and ends up in Bedfordshire. There's a signpost just over the road here that says Ivinghoe Beacon, 87 miles, if you want to take that short stroll. The Sanctuary is an interesting spot because it doesn't actually exist any longer. All you can see now are numerous stone and wooden stumps which mark the site of the original standing stones and wooden pillars in what was a very clearly well-formed and complex sacred site. And there are descriptions of the sanctuary from antiquarians like William Stukeley and John Aubrey in the 17th and 18th century. But thereafter, and some sketches of them too, or engravings, but thereafter they were removed, they were blasted out the way or excavated or heaved one way or another. Only really fairly recently, a couple of 100 years ago, there were usually two reasons for this. Either people wanted to use the stones for building, or they were in the way of farmland and just a nuisance, or they were removed by overzealous Christian believers who objected to a pagan site on their doorstep. Not entirely sure which it was. I think it was the latter with the sanctuary, which is a great tragedy, of course. You can see quite clearly there the arrangement set out, as I say, with these stubs of wood and stone. The wooden pillars apparently preceded the stone ones and would have stood about 6 meters high, they think. It's pretty significant, impressive sight it would have been. As they've discovered on excavation, they've discovered deep shafts in the ground that indicate the size of posts used. Anyway, sanctuary is a fascinating word. Powerful, attractive word, isn't it? A word often applied to churches, and in medieval times, of course, many churches had the right of sanctuary. You could claim sanctuary. I was up in Ripon recently where a whole area of that city around the cathedral had rights of sanctuary given to it by the king, and once you got within those bounds you were safe, and the law, you were exempted, almost as if it was a kind of game, you can't get me here. like I might stand, as I'm standing now, on one of these stones in a game of tag, off the ground, can't get me. Sanctuary was a powerful theme in society. It indicates a mixture of safe and sacred space that we can resort to, that we can be protected within, and divine protection moreover. Well, I wonder what your places of sanctuary might be in these weeks ahead. Where do you resort to? That might be a spiritual, emotional space. It might be also a physical space, and there's no split between the two, of course. I usually like, as you know, to find one in the other. Spiritual sanctuary in a physical place like this. And so I'm just going to read to you a little bit of the psalm in this busy but holy place, with the prayer that you may also find sanctuary this day. This is from Psalm 31. O how plentiful is thy goodness, which thou hast laid up for them that fear thee, and that thou hast prepared for them that put their trust in thee, even before the sons of men. Thou shalt hide them privily by thine own presence, from the provoking of all men. Thou shalt keep them secretly in thy tabernacle, from the strife of tongues. Thanks be to the Lord, for he has shown me marvellous great kindness in a strong city. And when I made haste, I said, I am cast out of the sight of thine eyes. Nevertheless, thou heardest the voice of my prayer when I cried unto thee. O love the Lord, all ye his saints. For the Lord preserveth them that are faithful, and plenteously rewardeth the proud doer. Be strong, and he shall establish your heart, all ye that put your trust in the Lord. May the Lord establish your heart this day and grant you sanctuary. God bless you as you go to ground.